Hey guys, here's another one of the questions of the day for Wednesday, August 4th, whatever it is. All right, yeah. Okay, so this question is from Kathy M. This one, she's asking, when I make an interfund transfer before noon, how is the dollar amount of the transfer determined? Is it the value at the exact time of the IFT or end of the business day value? Okay, so um, let's talk about how TSP funds prices work first. These are done once per day at the close of business every day. So when you do an interfund transfer to move your money that's already in your account around from fund to fund, what happens is at the end of the day, basically once the prices are locked in, your IFT will process that same night using that same night's share prices if you did it before noon. Uh, Not a guarantee it'll happen that same night, but usually if you do the IFT before noon Eastern time, then it'll normally process that same night using that same night's share prices. Now, you won't actually see the changes in your account. Like I say, if you log into your account online, let's say the night, like say if you did one today at 11 a.m., you might log into your account later tonight, and it looks like that still that hasn't processed. You're going to end up getting an email, though, saying that it has processed, and later, usually the next morning, if you're logging in, if you're trying to track this through your account summary table when you first log into your TSP account, you're not going to see the changes reflect in there until the following morning. But you're going to get that same night's share prices for effective for what happens. So ultimately, what goes on here, whatever funds you're already in, let's just say you're 100% in the C fund and you want to move from that to 100% S fund or something. You did your IFT at 11 a.m. that day. Then what will happen is the day will end, and then the share prices will get locked in. And then after the share prices for CNS fund have been set for that particular day, then the money just gets moved. You have, let's say, $100,000 in your account, and it's whatever that amounts to, it just gets slid right over to S fund, and then it calculates how many shares that you're going of S fund you're going to end up with that same dollar amount. Okay. Um, Very common for people to wonder if they're like if they're going to lose shares or whatever. Don't worry about losing shares. It's a matter of how much money you have in the account, and losing shares only matters if you're working with the same exact fund. So losing shares doesn't matter if you're going from C to S or from S to C or whatever. It matters if you go from C fund to some other fund and come back to C fund, and you're comparing how many shares you had in C fund before you left that fund and how many shares you have in C fund when you came back to C fund. Okay, so don't try to mix those up. Believe that kind of should cover that. If I didn't cover enough of that, don't hesitate to ask me, though, Kathy or anybody else. It's already been answered in the group, so. But for anybody else who's not in the group or just wants something a little more convenient than the clutter or the noise of discussions in the group, that's why I'm offering this on my channel. So these are the fun my content here, right? Okay. Also, I want to add in something here that didn't really quite catch on to the first time I read the question, but how's the dollar amount that actually gets transferred get determined? All right, so we're working with whole number percentages. So, like I mentioned earlier here, at the end of the day, your account was already where it's at. Your account balance ends up at a specific dollar and cent level. And when you do an interfund transfer, I'd say you want to go from 100% C fund to I don't know, maybe 70C, 30S if you're following Deb's strategy, which she just did recently. Then what happens is take whatever your total account balance is, and then figure out what 30% of that is, and that's what actually will end up in S fund. And then the remaining 70% will stay in C fund, and that type of interfund transfer. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. You can only do IFTs in whole percentages, and not by dollar amount, only by whole percentages. Okay, all right, so that's it.